Hello, my TikTok friends, and welcome to another motivational, spiritually connected video. This one is based on emotions that are entwined in our being and what God says we need to do if you are a believer in spiritual things. Psalms 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." Hebrews 6:11 or 11:6 says, "Without faith it is impossible to please God," as well. 1 John 4:18 says, "Perfect love casts out fear." Now I want to elaborate on these three scriptures as briefly as possible. Fear, anxiety, and depression are generated primarily and most specifically through the thought process of individuals. And that is just the way it is. In the mind, there are different ways and different forms of emotional stimulus. And how it is constructed is only God's knowledge of what we go through and how we learn to protect ourselves when things go off balance. Your faith is essential in trials and tribulations. Of adversity, not knowing the outcome of something is the definition of adversity. Be still and know that I'm God means if you can execute and initiate faith, there is almost 100% guarantee that you will come out of whatever is troubling you. But some of us, not to say everyone, but some of us don't have the willingness to execute the Bible scriptures that help us with this war of the mind. Hebrews 6:11 or 11:6 says it's impossible to please God without faith. It is impossible to sustain a level of mental stability if you don't believe you can do it yourself. It's not about God intervening to help you. You have to learn to incorporate what is positive, fear for your future. If that is happening and you're wondering, what am I going to end up being when I'm older? Can I sustain my bills? Can I do this? And you're like, well, why? If you just be still, take a deep breath, and understand that every storm has a calming point where everything stabilizes. That is indicative of your life if you believe in God. If you believe in faith in God, then these emotions will not overtake you, and you will not be living a life with misery. Have you ever been around someone who never initiated any kind of positivity when going through some minimal things? They take a minimal thing and they push it to the point where they're even different in their physicality. You see their facial structure. You're like, what's wrong? I'm just going through stuff. You're not going through anything that can't be solved. Keep your faith strong. When you're going through anything, if you do, just continue to understand God isn't abandoning any of us. His spirit is upon the earth. His angels in Psalms 91:11 says they encamp around those who fear God. We're not alone here in this battle. Ecclesiastics, the last part of this communication, look up the book of Ecclesiastics. It will talk about different levels of storms that transpire in life. There's a time to grow, there's a time to pull, there's a time to live, there's a time to die. There's a time to experience exuberant feelings of joy, and there'll be dismal activities and times where things go offline. You have to be able to differentiate what you can change and the knowledge to know what you can't, and keep living.